April 18th, 1775. The town of Boston sleeps under a blanket of fog, its cobblestone streets empty and silent. Candlelights flicker like lonely stars in the windows of colonial houses. Across the countryside, a storm is gathering, not of rain and thunder, but of men and muskets. And one man prepares for a ride that will echo through the halls of history. His name is Paul Revere. By trade, he's a silversmith, a craftsman of beautiful things. But in his heart, he is a patriot, a fervent believer in a new idea called America. Tonight, he is something more. He is a messenger, tasked with carrying a warning that will ignite a revolution. He saddles his horse, the leather creaking in the stillness, checking his supplies with a focused calm. He looks around cautiously, knowing that the very air he breathes is thick with danger. His mission is simple, yet monumental. Ride through the night and warn the colonies. The British are coming. With a final check and a quiet word to his trusted horse, Revere gallops into the night. The rhythmic pounding of hooves on the empty streets is the only sound, a heartbeat of defiance against the sleeping town. He moves like a phantom through the narrow alleys and past the silent homes of his fellow patriots. He doesn't shout, not yet. He whispers the warning, a hushed but urgent message passed from one shadow to another. High above, in the belfry of the Old North Church, lanterns wait to deliver their own silent message. One if bilan, two if bisia. It's a simple code, a lifeline for the colonial militia. Every shadow seems to hide a threat, every dark corner a potential patrol of British soldiers. The tension is palpable, a knot in the pit of his stomach. But Paul Revere does not hesitate. He rides on, driven by a conviction that burns brighter than any lantern. The city gives way to the countryside, the cobblestones replaced by a dark, winding forest path. The air grows colder. Distant sounds begin to echo through the trees, the faint, rhythmic tread of marching feet. The British patrols, they are out there, hunting for men just like him, looking to silence the voice of rebellion before it can speak. Revere's heart hammers against his ribs, a frantic drumbeat matching his horse's gallop. Every snapping twig, every rustle of leaves could mean discovery. It could be his last ride, but the message is everything. It must reach Lexington, and then Concord, where the colonists have stored their weapons and supplies. The fate of the burgeoning fight for freedom rests on his shoulders, on the speed of his horse, on his ability to outwit the night itself. He pushes forward, deeper into the dark woods, past rivers glinting under the pale moonlight, guided only by raw courage and an unyielding determination. He bursts from the forest into the open land where small villages lie sleeping. Now, the time for whispers is over. He rides hard, his voice finally breaking the silence, a clarion call of alarm. The British are coming. The regulars are out. He pounds on doors, his shouts rousing families from their beds. Lights begin to appear in windows, one by one. There's confusion, then a dawning horror as the gravity of his words sinks in. Men grab their rifles, their faces grim in the flickering lamplight. Women comfort crying children, their own fear masked by resolve. A quiet revolution is stirring, waking from its slumber. The spark of rebellion, long smoldering, is about to catch fire. And thanks to the courage of one man on a desperate ride, the colonists now have a chance to stand, to prepare, and to fight for their homes and their liberty. Suddenly, a shout pierces the night. Halt! From the shadows of the road ahead, figures emerge. Redcoats. A British patrol. Revere's blood runs cold. For a split second, it seems the ride is over. But instinct and adrenaline take control. With a sharp tug on the reins and a cry to his horse, he veers off the path, plunging into the unfamiliar darkness of the fields. He is a silversmith, not a soldier, but he knows this land like the back of his hand. He leads them on a frantic chase, his knowledge of the terrain his only weapon. He doubles back through hidden gullies and dense thickets, the sounds of his pursuers fading behind him. He becomes a ghost in the swirling fog, a shadow in the moonlight. Every second he gains is another step closer for the militia, another moment to prepare. The warning must reach can not fail. He rides on, his body aching, his horse slick with sweat, and then a change in the sky. The deep black of night softens to a bruised purple, and then to a pale, hopeful gray on the eastern horizon. Dawn is breaking. As the first rays of sunlight touch the rolling hills, they reveal an incredible sight. The countryside is awake. On village greens and along stone walls, men stand in formation. Minutemen, farmers, blacksmiths, merchants all, now soldiers, muskets held ready, their expressions a mixture of fear and defiance. The alarm has been spread. Thanks to Paul Revere and the other riders who joined the call, the patriots are prepared. Soon, the first shots will ring out on Lexington Green, a sound that will be heard across the world. It is the beginning of the American Revolution. One ride, one warning, has given a nation its fighting chance. As the sun climbs higher, casting long shadows across the land, Paul Revere can finally slow his pace. He is exhausted, bone-weary, but his heart is filled with a sense of grim triumph. His mission is complete. The ride was more than just a delivery of information. It became a symbol of ordinary people doing extraordinary things, of courage in the face of overwhelming odds, of the fierce, unyielding desire for liberty. One man, one horse, one single night hand. The course of history was forever altered. His ride was a powerful reminder that freedom is never simply given. It must be won. It must be fought for, sometimes by armies on a battlefield, and sometimes by a lone rider galloping through the dark. And as the sounds of battle begin to echo in the distance, one thing is certain. Though the streets may be quiet again, the spirit of freedom that rode with Paul Revere will never, ever sleep.